Phantasm, classic movie, one of my all-time favorites. I watch it every Halloween. I watch it several times a year. Normally, I binge all of them, all the way up to the last one, Part Four, and it's just a great movie. You got gnomes, spheres. The tall man is utterly terrifying. I mean, talk about such a great villain with, and you don't know anything about him. That's what makes the tall man so great in the first film, is that you don't know anything about him. You don't know why he's doing what he's doing. You don't know anything that's going on. Then they bring in the dimensional forks. You have great characters: Reggie, Mike, Jody. I mean, Jody is a great character. I think he's maybe one of the most underrated characters in all of the Phantasm movies. I love it. I think it's great. Then we have Phantasm 2. Great movie. I think it's even better than Phantasm 1. And Phantasm 1 is one of my all time favorite horror movies. It's a classic. But Phantasm 2, there's so much action. It's great. They turn Reggie into a superhero, more or less. The 4-barrel shotgun, the Hemikuda, everything that makes Phantasm starts. It's here. This is where, like, they really build on everything that Phantasm 1 had. I love this movie. I think it's fantastic. Phantasm 3, utter piece of dog shit. I don't like it personally. It doesn't offend me. I could see why some people might like it, but for me, I just I just don't like it. Phantasm 4. Phantasm 4 is probably my. Oh, I love Phantasm 4. It's made with about $1.75 and a lot of stock footage from Phantasm 1. But I love it. I think it's great. I think the story's compelling. We get some good backstory about the tall man. We start to figure out what's going on with Mike, and I love it. I think it's great. It's well worth a watch. Um, I watch all four, uh, at least once a year. Um, it's really great. I recommend it. And then we have Phantasm 5. Phantasm 5. Phantasm 5. Phantasm 5. I was really hyped for this movie. I really was. And I knew a couple people who were hyped about it as well, because you had the fourth movie end on a cliffhanger, and Reggie picks up the 4-barrel shotgun, and you're like, "Oh man, he's ready to kick ass, take names." And and it ends on a big cliffhanger, kind of. But it worked as a series finale as well. But it ended on a cliffhanger, and you know it's just such a great movie. And Phantasm 5, I was really hyped about it because I saw the trailer, and the trailer looked decent. There's a giant sphere in the sun, in the sky, and everything looked fantastic. And then I saw the movie, and it was utter dog shit. It really just enraged me. It really did. I should have known when Don Coscarelli wasn't coming back to direct it. This is his baby. This is everything he wanted. And it was terrible. It was utter dog shit. It was crap. It was so much worse than part three. So much worse. And they got David Hartman, who I don't think directed anything ever in the history of life, to direct this movie, and he wrote it. They say Don Coscarelli wrote it, but really I think it's just he created the characters, and it's just it's so bad. It's so fucking bad. I don't understand the choices they made in this movie. I feel like he honestly I take this movie personal. You understand? I take this bad movie fucking personal. It offends me to the core of my being that this movie exists. I hate it because you watch Phantasm 4, and it ends, and you're like, okay, you could pretend that the other movies exist, that the other movie doesn't exist, but guess what? The other movie does exist. It exists, and it's trash. And if you know David Hartman, I want you to send this to him. Let him know I hate him. I hate him with a passion. Because what he did, he shit in my soup. Is essentially what he did. He shit in my soup. I'm eating a nice bowl of Italian wedding or minestrone or pasta fagioli, and David Hartman comes up and he just takes a big old stinky wet shit in my soup, and I hate him for it. I do. I hate him because this movie came out as of recording 3,008 days ago, and it's been living rent free in my noggin the entire time. I hate it. And the choices he makes in this movie make it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand why he did it, and I don't understand why they made this movie as bad as they did. They take characters that we like and they just ruin them. They ruin the characters that we like, and the special effects are terrible. The problem is this started out as webisodes for like the Adventures of Reggie Bannister, and I'm all great with that. The webisodes would have been awesome, just to come out once a month, whatever, just telling stories about Reggie running through the portals and gunning and killing gnomes and spheres. I'm okay with that. But no, that's not what they do here. They take it and they make it a full movie, and it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work at its core. It's a bad movie. And it shits. It not only does it shit in my soup, not only does he take a piss right in my soul. Okay. Not only does he do that, but he shits all over the history of the Phantasm movies. And I don't want to hear people out there, because I know there's going to be people out there, and they're going to say, well, it's just a movie, just relax. No, 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 no. This lives rent free in my head. You understand? I could be, I could be out driving around, listening to Ghost, having a good time. Then I remember Phantasm 5 exists, and I'm sad. I could be with my partners, and we could be having a great time, going out to dinner, enjoying ourselves. And then I remember Phantasm 5 exists. It could be Christmas fucking morning, and I'm opening up my presents, and here's a brand new computer, and I'm happy, and I got a box of cigars for Christmas, and everything's great, and I'm happy, life's awesome, I can't wait to live the rest of my fucking days, and then Phantasm 5 comes in my head. I remember that happened, and I'm sad. And there's Christmas. Ruined. Shitted on. Shitted on by David fucking Hartman. David Hartman. You ruined my favorite series. Now my favorite series has to be the Saw movies. That's my favorite series now because you decided to pull your pants down and shit on my favorite series of all time. And Don Conscarelli, you don't get off, with no, you had this great Phantasm 4 wasn't great. I mean, it wasn't perfect. It was good. I really love it, but it wasn't perfect. But it ended the series. Like you could say, okay, here's an ending. Reggie's going off to save his friend. He jumps through the portal. He's back in time. It's just the wind. Is it all in Mike's head? Phantasm's never been really about giving answers. If you look back at Phantasm 1, there ain't a fucking answer to be given about what's going on. But Phantasm 4, you ended it, and I'm okay with it. I was okay with that. I made peace with that. And then you took that, you handed it to David Hartman. David Hartman was like, "Oh yeah, I like this. Let me ruin it. Let me take everything about it and just make it trash." He's like, he watched Phantasm 3 and he said, "How could I make a worse movie?" And he did. He made a worse movie. The CGI is terrible. The choices are awful, and we'll get into the choices in a little bit, because we're not fucking done. I'm going to be ranting about this goddamn movie I'll be on my fucking deathbed. I'll be on my deathbed, sitting there staring at the ceiling. Beep, boop, boop, boop. My family will be there. My partners will be there. They'll be holding my hands. They'll be telling me they love me. I'll be thinking, "Wow, I just want to. I just want a few more minutes. I just want boop, 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 boop." Then I'll remember Phantasm 5 exists. Boop. I'll be dead because of David Hartman. David Hartman killed me. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? David Hartman and his horrible, trash-filled piece of shit fucking movie killed me. He killed me. I'm dead now. I'm dead inside. The trailer was good. I saw the trailer and you know what it is? It's every kid that grew up watching Phantasm and identified with Mike, because kids like to go to the graveyards and like to explore, and you always see things and you tell stories, and you see Mike and you kind of relate to Mike. No matter what gender you are, I think you can relate to Mike, and you grow up with Mike. Phantasm 2. I remember watching Phantasm 2, and then I remember watching Phantasm 3 as I was a little older, and I remember watching Phantasm 4. Phantasm 4, I remember coming out, and I borrowed money from my mom, $95 to buy that VHS from Suncoast. And I was there the day it came out. I ordered it special. In particular, I was like, I need this because when was it ever going to come to Orbit Video or Family Video? I couldn't take that chance. Me and my buddy, we wanted to see it. But what happens? What happens in Phantasm 5? Well, David Hartman says, "Oh, your childhood? I'm going to ruin it. I'm going to take it and I'm going to shit on it. I'm going to step in the shit. I'm going to walk in your house, track the shit all over your house, and then I'm going to come up to your room, jump on your bed, put shit all over your bed, and then I'm going to say, enjoy." And that's what he did. That's what he did. Don't you understand? The choices we have in this, or the choices he made in this movie, are just horrible. And I will get into these choices and decisions and what they did with Reggie. That's my biggest issue is what they did with the Reg Man, because Reggie was like, he wasn't supposed to be the action hero. He was just a guy. He was just supposed to die in Phantasm, and that was it. Oh wow, he was a cool character. But no, in Phantasm 2, they turn him into an action hero. In Phantasm 3, he's an action hero. Phantasm 4, he's an action hero. I mean, he's not Bruce. He's not Bruce Campbell. He's not a horror. He wasn't meant to be Bruce Campbell or other horror icons, but he became one, and he was our. If you're a Phantasm fan, he was your hero. He was your freaking hero. And what do they do with him? They just make him a demential patient, dying in the hospital in another way. So I just I'm gonna go through a couple story beats for you. Maybe I'll just rant. I don't know. I wanted to make this like a 2 hour long video. I wanted to bitch and moan about it for 2 hours and just complain that this movie is shit in my soul, and that David Hartman came up and kicked me between the legs and shoved my face in Phantasm 5 shit and told me to enjoy it. You know, I just I mean, the movie starts out awesome. Just I mean, Reggie comes walking out of the desert from part four, I'm assuming, and he's all beaten up. He's still got the full barrel shotgun, but he's not beaten up. But his clothes are all ratted and ripped and torn, and they're playing the heroic Phantasm music, and you're like, yes, this is awesome. And then the rest of the movie happens, and David Hartman's like, "Hey, I hate you. You like this movie? Fuck you. You like Phantasm? You like Phantasm 1, Phantasm 2, Phantasm 3, Phantasm 4? Fuck you. Here's what I'm doing for you." They give us, like, in the beginning, they give us these awesome action sequence with the Regman, and it's you know what? It's not bad. It's not bad. You can see where this was going to be the adventures of Reggie just on the road. Okay, the part where the guy steals Reggie's car and he makes him get out and he's naked and the acting's terrible and it's from the naked guy and it's horrible. But then Reggie has this cool scene where he's driving and the balls are attacking him, and he shoots 1,000 bullets out of his gun. He doesn't replace the clip at all. He he easily shot, like, I didn't count, but it had to be 10 shots, and I don't think his gun had that many bullets. And then you have that cool scene, and then what happens? Reggie wakes up. He's in a wheelchair. He's got dementia. Great, awesome. This is what I wanted. This is exactly what I wanted for my Phantasm movie. Reggie with dementia being pushed around in a wheelchair. That's fucking fantastic. That's great. Great way to ruin fucking Phantasm for me. I will say the scene with, I mean, as much as I fucking hate it, as much as this is scene, I hate the scene. It's a little heartwarming finally seeing, because what happens? Phantasm 3, Mike's gone. Reggie spends the entire movie trying to find Mike. What happens in Phantasm 4? Mike's missing. Reggie's trying to spend the entire movie getting to Mike. And what happens in Phantasm Ravager? Mike's missing. Reggie's trying to get to him. So we finally get the scene with them together. And it is a little heartwarming, but look at what the scene is. What are they doing here? It's this isn't set up. It'd be different if they set this up in the previous movies. But the problem with Phantasm is they've always just gone with whatever whim they felt to take the story. It's like, well, okay, Phantasm 3, they're like, well, let's just go this direction. Never mind where we were going in Phantasm 2. Phantasm 4, they had a budget of $11.67, so that makes sense why they did what they did. But in this, they're like, okay, we built something in Phantasm 4. Let's go over in this direction and shit in your soup. It's like they saw Lost and they were like, "Ooh, Lost had these cool flash sideways and flash forwards and flashbacks, and let's do flash sideways of our own." Where there's Reggie in the original timeline kicking ass, taking names, and then there's Reggie, a feeble old man dying in a hospital, and it's an insult to everything the movie before it brought, and yet they don't care. They don't care because they're just making shit up as they go along. They're shitting in their hand and feeling around to see what crusty bits they can make into a movie. What is their hatred with giving us Mike and Reggie versus the Tall Man? I don't understand. Why do we have to endure these long journeys where Reggie's by himself? What we wanted Reggie and Mike against the Tall Man, and they tease and give us little snippets of that in this movie. But reality is, for a large chunk of the movie, the only time you see Reggie and Mike together is when Reggie's dying in the hospital. Oh man, isn't that when you think Phantasm, don't you think dying in the hospital? Phantasm, Tall Man, extra dimensional gates, gnomes, spheres, zombies, all these awesome things. And then you think, hospital, dying old man. You know, I'm losing my mind here, guys. Don't you understand? Like I said, this thing's been living rent free in my head. I take it personal. I take it personal what they did in this movie, and the whole reason why I've just bought this mic, and I'm happy with the mic. I think it's great, and I've been making videos, and this is coming out on Halloween. I bought this mic just so I can make this video. Because I needed to get this out of my system once and for all time. I needed to say, fuck this movie. I I needed to say, fuck it with that barbed wire dildo from fucking Seven. Fuck it. Fuck it hard with the dildo, okay? Because this movie is trash. And I take it so personal. I wish I didn't. I wish I could just be like, well, that was a bad movie and move on with the rest of my fucking life like a lemming. But I can't. I can't do that. I can't do that because when I watch Phantasm 4 and I'm done with Phantasm 4, I think, oh yeah, Phantasm 5. And I'm sad again. And that it keeps happening to me. You know? Like I said, like today I was grocery shopping and I had to get cat litter, and I was in the cat aisle, and then I remembered Phantasm 4 or 5, and I was sad again, and I forgot the cat litter. You know, I start bubbling with fucking rage. I can't imagine how mad I'm gonna be next year or the year after that or 10 years from now, because every day I hate this movie a little more. Every minute that passes, a little part of me gets angrier and angrier, and then there's another part of me that dies a little more. There's a part of me that's young and remembers watching the movies, and that part's getting killed. Don't you understand? David Hartman is killing me. He's murdering me. He's murdering my friends. People that I know that love this movie are being murdered by David Hartman. And I'm sorry, like I don't want to take it personal, but I just do. It's just it's just it's it's on my shoulders. Like it's like an anxiety. It's always there. It's always omnipresent, waiting for me to have a good moment of my life, waiting for me to enjoy something, lighting a nice cigar and drinking a bourbon, and then Phantasm 5 happens, and I'm sad again, and I don't want to smoke my cigar, and I just want to take a fucking Percocet and curl up in the ball and let the pain die. But I know, it sounds silly, and you're probably thinking, Annie, it's just a movie. And I fuck that. Because it's art. And I care about art. And I care about all art. And I care about cinema. These things are important to me. Phantasm was important to me. Phantasm 2 was really important to me. Phantasm 4, because my mom, who's no longer with us, bought that for me. That that was a story I'll never forget her going and taking part of her paycheck to buy this movie for me. But here we are. Here we are, David Hartman shitting in my soup, pissing in my face, and laughing at me. He's laughing at me. Don't you understand? David Hartman is laughing because and what has he ever done since? I looked up his IMDb filmography. It's rubbish. It's trash. The ending is especially egregious to me because it's like he's dying in one world, and in the other world he's alive, and they're about to go on further adventures with a souped up Hemikuda, and it's like, well, which one's real? Is he does he have the dementia? Is he dying? Or is he really Reggie kicking ass, taking names with a full barrel shotgun? And you don't know. And it's that's not the kind of mystery to end on. It's not what's in Mike's brain. It's not why did a sphere come out of his head. It's not cool. It's not a cool mystery. It's not something we're going to be debating for years because nobody cares. Nobody wanted to see Reggie like that, you know. And sadly, Reggie's going through a health crisis right now in real life, and it echoes the story a little bit. But they just did him dirty. They did him absolutely fucking dirty, and they had no business bringing this movie back. The tall man, he looks like Angus Grimm looks like he's on his last legs, and he was on his last legs. This is one of his last movies, and I love Angus Grimm. I love the tall man, great villain, but it's noticeable. And then they bring in Doc Arts or Daniel Roebuck for no fucking reason, and he's terrible in the movie. And I like Daniel Roebuck, but apparently he'll be in anything for 75 cents. My real beef, fuck David Hartman, fuck him. But my real beef is with Don Conscarelli. Like, was this the best option to go with Phantasm? Was it? Was this really the best way to end it? Or was the best way to end it Phantasm 4? Were you just trying to make a quick buck? I don't understand. Because uh, and they bring Rocky back at the end, and that's fun for like a split second. But where the fuck was she in this movie? Yeah, I don't know. And we're reaching 25 minutes, and I think I've ranted long enough about this fucking movie. I don't know that I've gotten the angry hatred, volatile nature out. I'll never get over it. No matter, I mean, I can make a video a day about Phantasm 5. I could. I mean, I could rant about it till the cows come home. But nothing's ever going to take away the sting. It's always going to be living rent free in my mind. There's always going to be that voice. Phantasm, Phantasm. You know, it's always going to be there. It's always going to be whispering, Phantasm, Phantasm 5. I'll always, I'll be with my partner. We'll be fooling around, Phantasm 5, Phantasm 5. And then all of a sudden, mood's killed because Phantasm 5 exists. And I'm sad again. Because that's what this movie does. This movie is sadness. It's the heights of despair. You understand? You see what I'm saying? No, you don't. You don't. You think and I know, because I have friends who are like, yeah, it was a bad movie, and they moved on. But I can't move on. I can't put it past me because the decisions they made in this movie are just bad, and their decisions made to be bad. I think. I think they were trying to make a bad Phantasm movie. That's what I think. David Hartman. I think he secretly hated Phantasm, and he wanted to make a bad Phantasm movie, and he succeeded. He succeeded in making a terrible fucking movie. And this, this is the second take. I did this video twice, and the first time I did it, well, I was not. It was a lot more personal and a lot more angry than it is right now. But I felt, okay, let me tone it down a little bit because my rage was boiling to my eyes were hurting me, and I had to stop and just take a minute. I mean, even let's go back to the beginning. That scene with the girl, like she comes over and I mean, where he meets the girl, she's her car stranded on the side of the road, and Reggie's just like, yeah, just jump in. Yeah, we're right. Yeah, okay. What woman in the world's gonna jump into a car with someone? She even says it. Like, I don't get in the rides with strangers. And he says, well, I'm Reggie. So I guess they're not strangers anymore. I guess it's okay. Just get in the car. God knows where he's gonna take you. You know. So I think I don't have any rage left right now. I think I've said everything I wanted to say about this dumpster fire of a fucking movie. I think the ending's terrible. It's an insult to every fan that's ever watched Phantasm. Anyone that's ever enjoyed a Phantasm movie or liked Reggie or the Tall Man or Mike or Jody or Frank or Sally. I think it's an insult to everything that's come before. I think it takes a dump on Phantasm 1, 2, and 4. I think David Hartman purposefully attacked me. Like he's assaulting me with this movie. And people like me, people who love this movie. And it's been so long, it's been in my brain. And he doesn't care. He won't care if he sees this. He'll just be like, "Oh, this is lunatic ranting about a movie from 10 years ago." But it's so bad. The choices he made in this movie. And Conscarelli signed off on the choices. He saw what was being done. He was like, "Yeah, oh, this makes sense. Yeah, let's make Reggie an old feeble man with dementia. Yeah, that's what everybody wants. They don't want Reggie driving around kicking ass, taking names. No, no, no. We want this part. It's an insult. It's an insult to my soul. My soup is ruined. My pasta fagioli. My pasta fagioli, and I make a good pasta fagioli. It's ruined. It's dead. Kaput. Cease to exist. And I know it's gonna happen. I know I'll feel better after I make this video and I put it out, and you people listen and say, "Oh my God, Annie's lost her freaking mind." But in a day, maybe 2 days, maybe an hour, maybe before I go to bed, I'll be closing my eyes and I'll be thinking of kittens, and then I'll think Phantasm 5, and then I'll get mad again, and I'll be like, that video, 30 minutes long, it wasn't long enough. The rant wasn't long enough. I just wanted a good conclusion. I wanted to see the character. I didn't want to see Reggie trying to find Mike again. I did. Nobody wanted that. We had 2 movies of that. Now we had 3 movies of that. I didn't want to see Reggie dying in the hospital and wondering if he's here in this world or in this world, or if he's dying here and his consciousness is over here. You know, I didn't want that. Nobody wanted that. Nobody asked for that. What is it with these people, these directors, giving us shit that we didn't ask for? Nobody asked for this, yet we got it. Yet here it is. Uh, I shit on the table. I shit on a plate. Here you go. Eat it. Phantasm 5.